Alright, welcome back. Now we're going to start multiplying and factoring, okay? So we went through standard form. Hopefully you understand. Hopefully you understand what I say when I say the degree of a polynomial. You know what that means, the degree of a monomial. These are all terms that you should understand before you begin this video. If you don't know, look in your book. They're in your book. Look online at the book. Look in the old video. They're everywhere. Check out Khan Academy. Any of those will work, but you have got to know what those are before we begin this, okay? So let's jump into this. The big idea, all we're going to do is we're going to use the distributive property to multiply a monomial and a polynomial, okay? Simplify, write in standard form, all this stuff we should be good at. So let's begin, okay? This is pretty straightforward. Let's go. Okay, so here, using the distributive property, that's just distributing each one of the monomial to the binomial. Okay, so this becomes 12x squared. X times x is x squared minus 28x. Right in standard form. Is it in standard form? Yes, x squared, then x, so it is in standard form. The highest degree is up here. Remember, degree means exponent, and the next one is here. Alright, why don't you try number 2 right now. Hit pause, try number 2, and then hit resume, and we'll go through it together. Alright, so this should be 8x squared minus 10x cubed. Okay, just distributed it. Alright, and now it's not in standard form, so my final answer is actually going to be 10x cubed. Remember, it is negative, so it stays negative, plus 8x squared. There's my final answer. Okay, number 3, give number 3 and number 4 a try. And then hit play and we'll begin. Okay, so for number 3 you should have 12a cubed plus 15a squared minus 3a. Okay, again, just distributing. That's it here. Okay, is it in standard form? Absolutely. Is there any more simplifying I can do? No. There's no more combining. That's my final answer. Okay, over here, I'm going to have to do it twice here. Look at this. Look at this. This is awesome. Here we go. P squared plus 2p minus 3p squared. Oh, this is so cool. Okay, and distributing that. So this becomes like plus 15p. Whoa! Okay, any more simplifying that we can do? Absolutely. I got a p squared here, p squared. So we add those together, you get negative 2p squared, positive 1. Minus 3p squared is negative 2p squared. Then I got a positive 2 here. I got a positive 15 here. Plus 17p. Final answer. So that one had 2 steps in it. That's nuts. Okay. Factoring. Whoo. The toughest thing you guys will learn in math. We're still working on it in Algebra 2. It's just a beast. Here we go. Factoring a polynomial reverses multiplication. Okay? So instead of multiplying two things together, I'm tearing them apart into factors. To factor, start by finding the greatest common factor. Okay? Find the GCF of these down here. Well, the GCF, the factors of 16 are 4 and 4. 16 and 1. Let's see, 8 and 2. Okay, and I think that's it. Alright, so over here we have 7 and 4. I have, let's see, 14 and 2. And 28 and 1. So the greatest common factor, these are all the factors. So the greatest common factor would be 4. 2 is also a factor, but it's not greater than 4. And 1 is also a factor, but it's not greater than 4. So the greatest common factor is 4. Okay, over here, adding a variable. No big deal. No big deal at all. Okay, so the common factors here are 4 and 3. Okay, and then, let's see, what else? 6 and 2. And 12 and 1. And then we have x with all of these, right? 1x times 12x is 12x squared. Okay, so that's no big deal. Then here we have 4 and 4. We already went through these, so I'm going to go through them pretty fast. 16 and 1, and 8 and 2. And then we only have 1x. Okay, so here we could have x squared, here we only have x. So the greatest common factor is going to be 4, okay, and 1x. Here's 1 here, here's 1 here. So the greatest common factor is 4x, okay? So I take a 4 out of both of those, and I could take an x, 4x out of both of them. Okay? Last one, okay? Greatest common factor. I see a y is in all of these, so I know it's at least y. That's supposed to be a y. It looks like a 4, it's supposed to be a y. And then the greatest common factor, okay? Greatest common factor is going to be 14. So 14y comes out. Go ahead and write out your factors, but it should be 14y. Okay? And we'll work on this a lot tomorrow. Alright, so now you get to factor. Try these, all of them. I know 10 looks tough, but just break it down. Find the greatest common factor, and then push play and we'll finish it up. So here, the greatest common factor is 4, and it's just 4. It's not x. This doesn't have an x, so we can't do x. It's just 4. Okay? Here, when I write out all my greatest common factors, it's 3x squared. Again, 3 comes out of here, and 3 comes out of here. And then we're left with 3x plus 5. Okay? See, if you distribute this right now, you'd end up right back here. Okay? That's all we're trying to do. Here, oh, and I should have put on here, sorry guys, 2x minus 3. Okay? Here, again, I see x's in all these, so x is definitely going to come out. And then they're all divisible by 5. Okay? So 5x. And I know 5 is the greatest common factor because right here, it's a 5. Alright? So don't forget those important things. Okay? Alright, so I'm left with, now what do I have left? Well, 5 times 2 gives me 10. X to the third, because I took an x out of there. 5 times what gives me 15? 3. X squared. 5 times what gives me 5? That's just 1. X. And 5 times 12 gives me 60. Okay? So I just lost 1x and then divided by 5 on all these. Alright. Over here, now I got two variables. Again, what's in common? I have 3a's here and 2a's here, so 2a's are common. I have 1b here and 2b's here, so 1b is common. And we're left with a plus b. And that's your final answer. Come prepared tomorrow. We've got a lot of factoring to do. Work some of these out. I'll probably post your homework on the website tonight. I didn't do that, well, I guess when you hear this, it's going to be last night. So I didn't do that last night, so I'll do that tonight for you. Alright. Get some sleep.